The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Games to the Max. I am your host, Sean Garmer, and here with me, as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
And this is episode 187 of the show, and we are getting closer and closer to E3, a little less than a month away now. And, of course...
God help us all.
Yeah, God help us all. It's also, when that ends, the World Cup starts, so I just get to go from one thing to another, which is both cool and terrifying at the same time.
Non-stop podcasting.
Yeah, non-stop podcasting, basically. Hey, congrats to us. We did something where we actually, kept it going for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, of course...
The first and last time.
Yeah. Hey, don't say that. It might happen next week, too. So, of course, we'll be talking about quite a few things involving E3 leaks. And, of course, one involves a very huge franchise that everybody is ready to hear more about. Another that people finally got some playtime with, and some new stuff has come out of that. We'll talk about that as well, but just need to get this out of the way. This is, of course, the official video games podcast at W2Mnet.com, and we are in partnership with WarMania.com and Last Word on Life as well. And, well, before we get into the big news that's been going on, anything that you have been playing?
I'm still trying to plow through God of War, like the trophy system. Like, the map in that game is terrible because it doesn't mark anything for you.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
So it's like there are 20 ravens in this zone. I'm not going to tell you where they are. It's like, thanks. So I'm having to rely on like YouTube videos for like specific areas to go, okay, this is where I need to go for this thing.
Well, but then you got the people that complain that like, oh, finding all the this and that is too easy or whatever, so...
I mean, it's already... I mean, with these guides, it's already easy. Like, what is it? It would just save me the time of going, like, watching these YouTube videos.
Well, it's true, but I guess...
I guess another option would just be, you could have a menu option that says, like, on or off.
That's true, too. They could do that.
The only other thing I've been playing is Dragon Crowns Pro, some more with that.
Anything new on that? I'm surprised you're still going through it.
Well, I'm still trying to work out a time to play with my friend. We were going to play, I want to say last Thursday, and he was like, okay, go in this area, and when it says network, look for me, and I'll be there. And I was like, okay, I'm in the area, but it doesn't say network. And we were kind of arguing for a few minutes, and then I joined his game as just like a viewer, and it said network, and I was like, doesn't have that on my game. And we discovered that you have to be at a certain story point in the game to access like the online functionality, which is really fucking stupid.
That is really dumb.
You have to get through like the 9th or 10th stage, and then it's like, okay, here's like the actual game. It's like, they could have ironed this out a little better.
That's just nuts.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to play with him soon. And I still think it's passable. Like, it's not my type of game, really. I mean,
yeah.
Like, the combat's fine. It's just, I don't like the design much, and I think it's just too busy for me.
Understandable on that end. I do have a game. Go ahead.
No, I did buy one season already of Pinball Arcade, season 4.
Well, that's good. So what tables, can any of them noteworthy to people? Or?
Addams Family, that's the big one probably.
Yeah.
What else? Starship Troopers, which is one of my favorite tables. And then a bunch of other crap. There's one called, there's two actually. Well, one is called Red and Ted's Red Road Show, which I really like. It's a table that features like talking dummy heads, which was one of my favorites. It has Jackbot, which is a sequel to Pinbot and Machinebot of Pinbot. And it's funny that Jackbot came out later than Machinebot of Pinbot because that game sucks ass. Jackbot is terrible. It's like this weird casino themed, like, what is going on with this game? And the last one is Safecracker, which is like a really weird table.
Well, interesting. You got a mixed bag there.
Yeah.
So still working on the other ones they got before they get taken off, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to gather some money.
Well, best of luck.
I may actually try to start selling games to like raise for the funds or like DVDs or whatever, because might as well.
Yeah, because then you get to have those and you can play whenever you want. You know.
Yeah. Also, like, I bought the season pass or the season off PSN, and it didn't download anything. I had to like go on the fucking menu and start and individually download these tables. And I'm just
that's annoying.
What? Who thought of this? Like, why couldn't you just say download whatever I have or download new tables?
Yeah,
or
download
like
all
like,
or something.
I'm having me to scroll through this menu that updates like very slowly on PSN because there's like 4 individual packs for like each table has like 4 items listed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you couldn't like figure this out years ago.
I guess not. But
yeah,
that's weird that they have not up to that. Just to say, oh, download all button. Okay.
Yeah. I think if I like deleted it and then re-downloaded it, maybe. But like whenever I added a table to download, it would like say, "Oh, you purchased it." So I don't think that would actually worked because it looked like I was like buying each individual table for free, and it's like this is terrible. It's like Rock Band 4 levels of incompetence.
Hey now.
That got better at least.
Yes, it did. Even though it's starting to show some cracks again. I don't know if this month they just decided to like take off on. They said this month was the anniversary month. We're going through and letting you enjoy old songs that you can now buy separately, and I'm like, all right, as long as it's a 1 month thing and not all of a sudden DLC is starting to go away again, because that means the game is just dying. But I mean, I don't know how much longer they thought that was going to go on, because it's just there's only so much you can add to it. And, I get people like getting 2 songs a week and downloading their songs and playing, but even I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, I don't really care anymore. So, I don't know.
So what are you playing?
I do have the Little Witch Academia Chamber in Time game, but I've been wanting to get through the anime first before I play the game, so I'm like halfway through that.
You need the groundwork to establish the rules of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only like a 25 episode thing, so it's not. I should probably finish it by the middle of the week or something like that.
It's funny. I talked to Adam and I said I made the joke that I was going to take Mega Man 1 and 2 for Switch, the collections, but I would have just got angry about it. And then he offered me Banner Saga 1, and I'm like, I'm good, thanks.
They're giving that out? Like,
yeah.
Codes for that still?
It's like,
or is that one he just had?
It might have just been one he had, I'm not quite sure, but like, if you wanted me to review it, like my review would have been like, it's the same game I reviewed 3 years ago. It runs better.
Right. Not much has changed on that end.
I mean, it's on a crappy portable system, but a good game system. So there you go.
Right. Yeah, so next week I should probably actually have thoughts on the game itself. But that's kind of it. I finished all of Dragon Ball Super, which was really, really good. I enjoyed it. And then I'm like almost done with GT, so then I'll be done with everything Dragon Ball.
And then you got to watch all the movies.
Oh, I watched all the movies in sequence while they were going on throughout the series, so I got those knocked out already. Well, the closest that somebody on Reddit could figure out that they go in sequence because they really don't.
Yeah,
so.
they're just kind of shoehorned in, or not even, because they don't tie into the show at all.
Yeah. So
just like GT.
Yeah, just like GT, even though it is interesting. I totally get why some people don't like it. But, I mean, it's really built around, like, two big villains, and that's where the big fights happen. The rest of the fights aren't, I think, meant to be, like, a big deal. And I appreciate that they didn't, like, make it 100 and something episodes long for no reason, so... sometimes if there's one thing about DBZ, it's really bloated, and a lot of that I'm just kind of like, all right, we didn't need this episode or that episode, but whatever.
Hey man, Gohan had to rescue those kids that were left on the island without parents.
Yeah, of course, that had to happen. So yeah. Getting on with other things here with the news, and if we're going to talk about E3 leaks, one of the biggest ones that is going on right now, it's still it looks like it's been almost uncaved completely. Also, to the fact that it's probably not going to get revealed before the Nintendo Direct as well, but we'll see if it does or doesn't. But the Pokemon Switch has been all in the news between the last week and a half about what is it, what's it going to be called. We still don't. I don't know specifically if the latest leak says something and then you listen to other people and they think it's something else. So we'll see. But here's the what's gone down since the last time we did a podcast. So Emily Rogers posted that the Pokemon Switch game was going to be called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and they were two separate games. And then basically that was revealed in a 4chan post later, and that they would be remakes of Pokemon Yellow, but you're getting two games instead of one, with Pikachu, of course, being the starter and Eevee being the other starter, which kind of works in they're both cute, and Eevee also has the at this point I think it has like about 20 different evolutions of Eevee that's out there. The whole point was that they wanted to start everybody at Kanto, and it makes sense because it's the region that everybody recognizes. And the problem is, I think what came about later started getting people really upset was that they will tie in Pokemon Go into this game by having you catch Pokemon the same way you catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go, with motion controls and with the touchscreen, depending on what way you're playing it. There's also supposed to be some kind of accessory, just like the Pokemon Go thing that came out. It came out a while after the game came out on mobile.
Are they going to include the Pokewalker?
I have no idea, but the Poke Ride thing from Sun and Moon's also going to be in it. It's there's also hints at the fact that Nintendo's kind of been basically leading you along with this, because Pikachu and Eevee have been paired together with so many different like clothing lines and different things this year that it also makes sense. But the big deal is people still can't figure out if this is going to be a straight remake of Yellow, or if this is going to be a side game and it's going to have nothing to do with the main games at all. And the more and more time goes on, that's leading people to believe it's a side game, which is making people even more angry, because Nintendo promised that this was going to be a mainline game in their announcement, and then could decide that it's not going to be. So,
I refuse to buy either until they make a coughing edition.
Coughing edition?
Yeah. Coughing or mayonnaise, either one is fine for me.
You know what? If you get to play as James of Team Rocket, I'm all for that. Like,
I imagine this is like a side story thing. Like, it'll probably be as fully featured as like a main game, I would assume, just with some stupid motion controls or whatever. But this all sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, the motion control thing doesn't sound too weird to me, because Nintendo always likes to have something that sets it apart from, anytime they... Go ahead.
I mean, you have a Switch and so do I. Do you ever take it out, like, portably?
I do. I play it portable. If I'm going to go downstairs, or if I want to play on my bed, or...
I'm talking, like, go outside your house. Like,
No.
just walking down the street with your Switch, or going to, like, I'm going to go to McDonald's real quick and eat there, but while I'm there, I might as well bust out my Switch. Like, I don't see...
No.
I see no one doing that.
Maybe in Japan they do, but I don't, unless I'm going to go to a friend's house, I'm not taking my Switch with me anywhere, because I'm more worried about somebody deciding, let me try to steal it, or whatever,
Or getting damaged or something. And also, like, the difference between, like, the Switch and Pokemon Go is, like, most people always have their phone on them.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to just, load up the app and go, oh, here's, Meowth or something, like, at the corner. Like, it's not... That's fine. But carrying, like, another device, like a bulky device, when you really think about it, to,
Well, I mean, undocked, you'd be using the touchscreen. When you're docked, you'd be using the Pro Controller or the Joy-Cons and using the motion controls that way. So,
well, here's the other problem. What network are you connecting to?
Well, the Nintendo network, right?
No. That thing doesn't have a cell phone service built in, so you don't have access to, like, an always-on network. Like, the minute you get 50 feet off, away from my house, it's going to be offline.
Right, but I think the point is it's not gonna be built like Pokemon Go, where you need that internet connection. Yeah.
I still think, like, that idea is just really wonky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, because this is a huge title for them. They're not gonna let this come out without it working well. But I don't know, as long as there's an option, as long as it's something like Super Mario Odyssey where it's optional, I think that alleviates a lot of people's fears. But if it's something that's required and it doesn't work as well as you'd think it would, that's going to create a problem for people. I think the people that are getting really upset and being like, oh my god, I don't want to buy this game, and oh, this is going to ruin it, and everything else. I mean, we got to remember it's Nintendo. They somehow make these things work sometimes, even when we don't think they're going to. So, I'm going to wait until it's out there and someone has played it. But that also really makes me think that the rate that they're going with this, there's no way it's coming out this year. It's a 2019 game. And, yeah, we'll just get the announcement at some point, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But does it intrigue you at all? Like, to say... I mean, if it's a straight remake of Yellow, I'm excited, because Yellow was one of my favorites. If it's a side story thing...
I mean, I couldn't honestly tell them apart.
So,
I think, isn't Yellow the one that has Pikachu following you around all the time?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And the storyline's a little different, I think. And it will also... You're going to have a different character... And Red and Blue are going to be your rivals in this game, so there's something to that for the people that are huge Pokemon fans from back in the day. But
nerds,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know Stephanie was saying something about. I think this might anger people that really like to do the breeding and hatching stuff with Eevee, because usually the starters are really hard to get. But hey, this is why Pokemon Bank exists, right? For situations like this, where you can just go in your Pokemon Bank and get a million Eevees and put them all into the game, and let's see if that transfers over, because it may not either. But maybe something that you might care a little bit more about, Kingdom Hearts 3. People have actually started...
You'd be wrong. No.
Kingdom Hearts 3, people have actually started playing it now. They've gotten, I think, a rather lengthy demo that has gone out to certain folks from certain big websites, where they got to play the Toy Story world and Olympus Coliseum. Of course, that's two of the worlds that we've gotten to see. If they got to see anything that has not been revealed, they obviously didn't talk about it. But some of the things that have kind of come out from these demos is that, Kingdom Hearts 1 had a lot more exploring. It had the platforming. Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of shut that down a little bit, and the worlds were a bit more segmented, and it was much more about you just battling. So they kind of tried to find a happy medium where you can explore more, but there's also, you can kind of feel the scale of certain things, especially in the Toy Story world, because you're small, and you get to, feel around how big Andy's room is and how big the arcade is that you go into eventually and all that. Of course, the Keyblades all have transformations that we've talked about before. The Toy Story hammer turns into a drill, and then they all have their own finishers that you can do that are timed at the end. It was thought, Mark and I had talked about, that perhaps this meant Wreck-It Ralph was the world in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's apparently not the case. Wreck-It Ralph is just a summon, and he comes out of that Fix-It Felix game as part of the summon. And so that made several people happy in our chat that we're not happy about going to that world.
Some of the worlds they've already just shown off of that game are pretty, who cares to me. The Olympic Coliseum, it's
That's in all the games. That's fine.
Yeah, but are they going to have a fucking Little Mermaid level 2 that always sucks?
They do?
Yeah.
No, I think she's just a summon.
Good.
Yeah. Ariel, Wreck-It Ralph, and the Tangled Castle are the summons that we've seen so far.
I think I read the GameSpot preview, and I think the guy or the woman who, I don't know, I think it might have been a guy who was talking about it, was you don't really play with the Keyblade that much.
Well, that kind of stinks. Hopefully that's only certain parts or something like that.
No, it's not that. It's just all the weapon switching and all the finishers. It's
oh, okay.
And that looks kind of like what I've seen from that game, the different weapons, and it's you're throwing a lot of shit into this game.
Yeah, plus you still have
I'm not quite sure people necessarily need.
I agree with you. There's a lot in there. It also includes that flow motion thing from Dream Drop Distance, where you can run up the walls and all that, which makes the attacking even crazier. So
it works so well in Dissidia.
Yeah, so well. To the fact that I really don't hear anybody talk about that game at all. But
yeah.
I think once they reveal more worlds and stuff, and maybe perhaps reveal something about the story, because that's kind of been hush-hush so far, I totally expect that Square Enix conference has to have something that Sony is probably not getting at their press conference. Who knows? Maybe they reveal two worlds, for all we know. One at the Square and one at Sony. It's still amazing to me that Microsoft is also getting Kingdom Hearts 3 and is not getting the other games at all, but totally understand they have to go from ground zero on that. So,
I mean, it's happened before with Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U, or Final Fantasy 13, really.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2 and 3 on the PS3, but they never got one.
Yeah,
I think until the collection.
Yeah.
So, again, this is kind of...
I mean, also ultimately, I think it's probably a good business choice because let's say they made Kingdom Hearts Collection for Xbox One, it wouldn't sell in Japan at all, and it likely wouldn't sell in America because everyone who's a Kingdom Hearts fan already has a PS4.
Yep, that's very true.
I mean, honestly, they could make if they made it for the Switch, it'd probably do better.
Well, for the Switch, I would buy that immediately because you get to play with it anywhere, and if they could I feel like Nintendo would figure out a way to make that like multiplayer on there or something. So
even the straight ports would be fun, probably.
Yeah.
I also disagree somewhat with your earlier statement about like Kingdom Hearts 1 about being exploration based. Like it is, but also that was what the worst part of that game.
I liked being able to run around, and I'm not saying the platforming was great. I'm saying being able to run around and explore some of the worlds was nice.
I mean, it's a neat idea, but like getting around like Alice in Wonderland or like what was the other one I'm thinking of? Like the Jungle Book level.
The jungle one.
That's terrible.
But it did make the levels feel like they were bigger than they are.
It wasn't Jungle Book, it was Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan.
I mean, yeah, but that's just you get lost all the time, and you don't know where the hell to go.
Yeah, I would agree with it. I'd say that is also a factor. Like, I always had a guide playing those games, so...
Yeah, because you have to.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, hit this candle in Alice in Wonderland, and now the room is upside down, and what do I do now?
Yeah, or I had to figure out where exactly, when I'm jumping around the petals or the trees, what room am I going in to go to the next thing, and the jungle, if you go the wrong way,
yeah,
you can get completely lost there. So I feel Hollow Bastion was sort of the same way too. At the end of the game, you could take the wrong bubble or the wrong elevator thing, and you could wind up in a totally different place than you need to go. So,
yep.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that shapes up.
I'm interested in Kingdom Hearts 3, but I don't like the fandom of Kingdom Hearts. That's my problem.
Why not?
It's a bunch of people who they remind me of Shenmue fans. Just completely crazed, and they have no sense of reality.
Well, those Shenmue fans are going to be upset because that game got delayed to 2019. Not that that's any surprise or whatever, but...
I mean, that game's getting delayed till 2020, I think.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. But people keep holding out. Yeah, people are kind of crazy about their Kingdom Hearts, but to be fair, they've been waiting a long time for 3. So I kind of let some of that go.
That's my other problem is Square Enix has jerked around people so much with this franchise.
Well, no, it's more like Nomura. I mean, there's a reason why he got Final Fantasy 15 taken away from him, because if it was up to him, that game would have never been finished. So
yeah.
I feel like somebody lit a fire under his butt to hey, probably Disney, if this game doesn't come out soon, we're pulling it or something. So, we don't have Disney Infinity anymore, so that's all we have left. Yeah, that's true. It's very true. They don't have a lot left, so. And I mean, again, there's so much merchandise they can sell with that. There's so much that Disney gets out of that. Square Enix too. I mean, so their Final Fantasy characters, at least some of them show up, and I think they did show something that I think after Kingdom Hearts 1, it increased people wanting Square Enix games for a while.
Yeah.
So
I guess my question is, do you think they ever go to... I mean, obviously, Star Wars and Marvel are out. But do you think they ever go to, Final Fantasy Land? Or, Midgar, I should say, or,
Why do you think Marvel and Star Wars are out?
I mean, I would love it, but I just don't think considering how much, Marvel maybe, but considering how much, Star Wars, that crap values, the canon of Star Wars, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Disney's been, I mean, they're making all these prequel movies or whatever, right? So I don't put anything past them to want to do it.
I'm thinking like Battlefront 2 when that came out. Like Disney didn't allow them cosmetic items because it would have upset the you can't have a pink Darth Vader running around.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been that way because people have always asked about like why can't I mix and match the guest characters and why do the guest characters have to be in that world that you're in? And
yeah, even Infinity had that problem. It's like
right.
You can only play Pirates level with Pirates characters or stuff like that.
Which was so silly about Infinity because it's like that's the whole point of having all these damn characters. They're all the little figures, you know.
I don't like playing them in a toy box. Doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know because it's a Disney game with Square Enix's name on it. So like, would Disney give Square Enix that? Like, I would think that they would take away a Hollow Bastion or a Traverse Town, one of them that's created and not part of the Disney canon, and go, okay, you can make that a Square town, a Final Fantasy town, or something like that.
Well, that's why I was thinking like Midgar or
yeah.
Whatever
I mean,
the hell
it would be cool, but I wonder if Disney would allow it because all the worlds always have to have some kind of Disney tinge to it or something. So
yeah,
it would be awesome if they did, but I don't know.
I mean, I doubt it, at least for this game, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe with the new set, now that they're not starring Sora and they can start all over, maybe then. But
yeah,
we'll see. I think it also depends on, I mean, not that we have to worry about sales for this game, but I think it also depends on how crazy the sales are for this game. Going along with the Switch, Resident Evil 7 is coming to the Switch. But right now, only in Japan. It's actually coming out this week in Japan, but it's going to be playable only in the cloud. And it will include all 4 of the DLC packs. And yeah, it costs about like $18, I think, if you buy this like 180-day service pass. If you want to play past the trial period. And maybe it's one of those like E3 surprises or announcements from Nintendo. But playing a game only in the cloud.
I mean, that's what PlayStation Now is.
Hold on one second.
Sure.
So Resident Evil 7, but in the cloud. I mean,
that's what PlayStation Now is.
I know, but that's just like...
Also, that I don't think Resident. I mean, I haven't played it, but I don't think Resident Evil 7 is like that action based. Like you're not shooting zombies in the head or anything. So, I mean, it may work.
I'm just wondering, like, does that make it to where you can have more graphically intense games if you play it in the cloud and not on the system? I mean, I'm still trying to figure out why.
I mean, that's what that Steam Link thing is for like Android phones and iPhones. Like you still have to have the computer to run it.
Yeah, I'm just like, but I'm like, why can it just not run on the hardware? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what plus do they get out of running it out of the cloud that...
Well, I mean, it's I would say it's a fairly demanding game, at least on like PC.
Right.
And also like maybe size is an issue.
Yeah, I can see the size thing.
Like, there are some games that have, you need to download this multiplayer component or whatever, but like Resident Evil 7 is a big game.
Yeah, it probably is a size issue, which then makes it a graphical issue and all that. So, I mean, I guess it's cool if it runs well and you get to play it. I'm assuming it will get announced over here because it's sold so well for Capcom on PS4. I can't imagine they're not going to bring it over here on Switch, but
yeah,
I guess we'll see. Good move by Nintendo, though. I wonder if this means like some games that we thought couldn't come over here come to the Switch are possible if you just play it in the cloud.
I mean, the Switch is getting Doom and Wolfenstein 2. I would have never thought those games would come to Switch.
Well, Bethesda's making those work on there, but yeah, I mean, I wonder if that means you will get Monster Hunter on Switch then, if they can make this work.
I imagine. Well, the problem with that, I would imagine, is the online component would be an issue because you're streaming the game and also, joining up with 3 other players to run it. Run a hunt or something. So
yeah, that's true.
Unless you have really good internet, I don't think that would work too well.
And especially with Nintendo, the price they're charging, I wonder how good the internet. I mean, it runs fine, free, so I don't know how much better it's going to be once you start paying. If that actually means that they've reinforced the internet, or if you're just paying for the internet and for the NES thing, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work too well.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing once that drops. I'm sure people will be so enamored with Super Smash Brothers at that point that they may not care too much about the other stuff, but that's another one of those has to happen for us to be able to figure it out. Speaking of Mario Tennis, it's Mario Tennis Aces, I should say, getting a demo on Nintendo on the eShop on Thursday. So starting Thursday, you can play Mario Tennis Aces. I'll for sure be downloading that. I'm always big on the Mario sports games. There's a tournament going on June 1st to the 3rd as well that you can play online against others. You can also play the demo offline and play against the computer as well. So you don't have to be online to play. And you can also unlock other characters aside from Mario, Peach, Yoshi, and Bowser. So if you play the demo, there's actually a reason. So if you don't like you want to play with some other characters in tennis, you can unlock them by playing away. And of course, the game comes out on June 22nd, so it won't be too far after that. How do you feel about Mario Tennis?
I may give it a shot. Like those Mario Tennis games are okay enough, and there's not really any good alternative.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we do have that oh geez, there's a tennis game that I think it's called Tennis World. Yeah, Tennis World Tour comes out tomorrow actually. So
I think people like when tennis games are mentioned, people like virtual tennis. And that's about it.
I agree. Yeah, it's virtual tennis, Mario Tennis, and that's about as far as it goes. So, but
like I wouldn't mind if Sony branched out with their Hot Shots, like franchise and made like a tennis game, or made like a soccer game, or made some more not arcade focused, but just more easy to approach games with their Hot Shots golf stuff, or everybody's golf really.
It would be interesting if they did, though. I'm surprised they haven't by now. Especially tennis, because that seems to be the next iteration for most.
That horrible franchise, Outlaw Golf. And they also made like Outlaw Volleyball, and I think one other one. And it's like, man, Stephen Colbert, you are in this game, and this is depressing me. I think it was Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell were like the announcers for one of those games, and it's like, why? You guys are on the fucking Daily Show. Why are you lowering yourself to this shit?
For real, man.
Greg Proops doesn't have a job. He can do this, no problem. But you guys, no.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm all for this. Like, I think it's cool that Nintendo does this where let you try out games, and especially one that maybe it's not on everybody's radar, but you can try it out, and maybe it will be by the time you finish.
Yeah.
I think this is an idea, you know, we've seen this more with having open betas for various games, so glad Nintendo, ever since ARMS, has really adopted this and said, hey, let's get our message out there. And perhaps the tournament will create a fervor for people to play Mario Tennis Aces. Also getting a reveal before E3, Battlefield 5 in a couple days on Wednesday. You're going to get to hear all about Battlefield 5 after various teases from EA themselves and from Trevor Noah. It is officially going to be called Battlefield 5. And it is going to be set in the World War II setting. It is going to have a single-player mode, unlike the Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which they confirmed that this week. They confirmed the Battle Royale mode for that, too. But, yeah, I mean...
So, two things. The name is dumb. Or the numbering is dumb, let's say that. And I'm completely disinterested in Call of Duty 4, or Black Ops 4. They couldn't have turned me off less with that. You know, their little trailers and stuff.
Why do you say that?
Well, no, single player is a big one, but also like they're aping the battle royale, like battlegrounds thing. It's like, man, you guys are really desperate, aren't you? And also, like, it's not going to be sold on Steam. It's only through like the Blizzard.
Oh, Battle.net, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
well, don't you already use Battle.net for World of Warcraft and stuff?
I don't like to.
I don't know. I guess since they assume that, I mean, it's also to get, you know, Blizzard a little bit more money. It helps Activision and Blizzard, that partnership. I guess why not use it, right?
Believe me, Blizzard has WoW and Hearthstone and Overwatch. They're doing fine.
Heroes of the Storm as well, because they're single-handedly helping. Well, one of the games is helping collegiate esports continue to rise. So,
yeah,
you know, I get it, and I also get why they
also
have chosen not.
I really just like. I think I saw some interview with one of the Black Ops 4 guys, and like tagline was like, "Forget what you know," or "Forget everything," or something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna like totally warp your mind.
This is called Black Ops 4. Like, if you're gonna do that, call it something else. Call it like Call of Duty, you know, Battleground or Blackout, or something, you know, some other name.
Yeah, well, they did have I think the introduction is called Blackout. So, you know, and I don't know how much difference you can make a Battle Royale mode. I mean, they all eventually play like each other.
I think the problem really is, for Call of Duty is, like, server population size. Like, how many people can they get 100 players in a Call of Duty map?
We'll have to see on that, but you would think they could.
I don't know. Cause I think the max has been 16 for like Call of Duty games, maybe 32. But
maybe they're meaning for this to be a smaller version of the Battle Royale or something.
If that's the case, fine. Then people are not going to play it. They're just going to play Fortnite or PUBG.
Yeah, I think they're trying to just see if they can grab people with the craze and have the Call of Duty name slapped on it and see if that sells well. I love the dumb report that came out that only uses Xbox achievements, by the way, the lesser of the two consoles, I get it that Xbox is, usually the shooter's haven or whatever, but to only use what's been the inferior console the entire generation to base a report that only half the people ever finished the Call of Duty campaign is really stupid. Like, you're not even using Steam, for God's sakes. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just think that if that's what you're using to base why you're not doing a campaign anymore, that's really pathetic at that point, to me. I'm sure they have other numbers, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I question how well this will do. Like, at least on PC. I don't think they care about PC, honestly. Like, considering how shoddy some of the recent ports have been, that's quite evident, if anything.
No, they're totally banking on people just wanting to buy it on PS4.
Yeah. But, let's see. I'm trying to look it up right now. World War II currently has... Oh, damn, it doesn't say. 646 people playing it.
Didn't they make that to where you can take that off now, where it's not mandatory that you show if you play something anymore?
Well, it's Steam. That's Steam Spy. I don't know if Steam Charts does the same thing or not.
Ah.
But, that's not a ton of people.
No, it's not. But I mean, that game is also what 7 or 8? I don't know how old. It's just pretty old at this point.
World War II came out last year.
I know, but I'm saying there's usually a shelf life for that thing, especially when you do have a PUBG and a Fortnite battling constantly for everybody's attention. So, not to mention the League of Legends and the Dotas and all that stuff. So, only so many multiplayer to go around. I think that's what the thing is. Call of Duty, they just want people putting them in the same breath.
Tell that to Cliffy B.
Yeah, exactly. Tell that to Cliffy D. He's out there putting out screenshots for the other games that never got released.
And it's wow, you should have made these instead of the crap you made in the first place.
Oh, exactly. Be more original. That's what he kept talking about all the time when he made his company. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to change the way we do this. I'm not going to make a big thing about being at E3 and doing all this stuff. We're gonna change the game." And no, we didn't change anything. So the game changed around you instead and ran you over. Speaking about being different, though, Devolver Digital, they had a press conference last year that was completely different than anything else that everybody else did. They are doing a press conference once again, and once again they're tagging it right behind Bethesda's. They're having it really late at night, 11 p.m. Eastern. This one is going to have actual game reveals. Last year, they kind of had one game that they sort of showed off, and then the rest of it was just a bunch of goof. I'd expect that as well, but
I think one of the people from Adult Swim was talking about it's going to be the Dave Lang Memorial.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Or well, not Adult Swim, but Devolver Digital. They're the Dave Lang Memorial Theater or something like that.
But that pretty much probably closes the book on the conferences now. So this leads it into it's a 4-day affair this year. It might have been that way last year too, but EA is starting things off on Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern. Then you get a 2 days of triple conferences with Microsoft at 4 on Sunday, Bethesda at 9:30, and then Devolver at 11. Monday, Square Enix starts you off really early at 1 p.m. Eastern, Ubisoft at 4, and Sony at 9 on Monday in their usual slot, and then Nintendo takes their usual slot of noon Eastern on Tuesday, and then the show floor opens right after that. So, yeah, I mean we'll have videos and podcasts for all those. like we did last year, but they really stacked it this year with a lot. At least Square Enix getting into the game again. Thankfully, they pre-recorded it this year, so you don't have the debacle of a couple of years ago where it's a bunch of Japanese guys standing up there. The translators are like 2 sentences off, and it's terrible. So
I look forward to like half the demos being broken, like at Sony that one year.
Yeah, that was fun as well. We'll see how that goes, but it's gonna be. Of course, it's E3, so we'll see how many surprises there actually are, because you still got plenty of time for half the show to leak, as has happened in the past. That one thing we won't find out from the Microsoft press conference that they're letting out of the bag early, I don't know how much people would have cared about it, because it has nothing to do with the console itself, but Halo's getting an arcade game, and it's coming to Dave & Buster's near you in the US and Canada pretty soon. It's called Halo Fireteam Raven. It's a 4-player cooperative arcade game. And basically you're in the role of ODST soldiers on the surface of Alpha Halo during the events of the first game, and you get to fight alongside Master Chief as they go after the Flood and the Covenant. So don't expect the story to be anything out of this world or whatever, but I guess that's cool.
Have you gone to Dave & Buster's?
It's been a long time.
I've never. Like, they just have no games that interest me whatsoever.
I like going just to see what's there. I remember the last time I went, they had the Mario Kart game now.
Yeah, and, the 8-player or 4-player one.
Yeah, I mean, and they had some other things that were based on newer games, but it's like I said, it's been a long time, so I don't know, but
I imagine, since we were talking about Wreck-It Ralph earlier, I imagine this Halo thing is going to be like that Heroes Duty thing from the arcade in that movie.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will be. You might get to actually... So it's 4-player. I don't know how they're going to do it with the guns. Normally, when you play a game like that, you're holding the gun and firing. If they can find a way to make it big enough to where it's... I guess you're holding all 4 of the assault rifles or something like that.
It says this thing's an 11-foot cabinet. Like, that's not small. And a 130-inch monitor is...
Yeah, 4 turret-mounted multi-purpose machine guns, so...
Like, a 130-inch monitor is the size of... I couldn't fit it in my room.
That's nuts. Well, Dave & Buster's get ready to...
And that thing is 10 feet tall.
Yep. That's nuts.
So...
I kind of want to go play this now. But...
I mean, it's gonna be like every other rail shooter or like gun shooter. So like,
I'm sure, but just to like be able to have the Halo name on it and play Halo at the arcade, I think is kind of a cool idea.
Someone should mod it so it plays the Terminator 2 arcade game instead. I'd play that.
Let's do that. I think it's a neat idea. I don't know that.
Sure.
I don't know how much money they're making off the licensing or whatever, but.
I guess that's my question. Is like, let's say, is this just exclusive to Dave & Buster's, or is like they're just the ones getting it first? Because, like, how much would this thing be by itself?
It says select Dave & Buster's locations in the US and Canada, and then it's coming out to more Dave & Buster's locations in the fall. So, I mean, it's not like other than like GameWorks, if that's still around.
I don't think that is.
There's not a lot of arcade locations that are just out there. So
No, I mean, like, you know, people who just buy arcade machines. Like, let's say someone just wanted this in their house. You know, they had, you know, they were a millionaire or something. Could they?
I mean, I guess they could probably contact Microsoft people directly and figure out how they could do that, right? I mean,
yeah.
It just, In more interesting Microsoft about the console news, they have finally officially revealed their controller that's kind of been leaked for at least a couple of weeks. if not more, their adaptive controller for people that have problems with mobility. I think this is like a neat idea. You can see we have a picture here in the dock of what it looks like. It's almost looks like a freaking.
Looks like a smaller DJ turntable thing.
Exactly. It looks like the thing from DJ Hero or whatever.
But it has like a bunch of audio jacks on it in the back for like every single button.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can like plug in like a like switch or like some breathing tube or something like that, and then go from there.
I mean, I think this is a neat idea for those people, right?
Yeah, I don't. It's not meant for you or me because we're obviously you're able-bodied and I'm mostly. It's for people like who don't have control, like paraplegic or quadriplegic, something like that.
Yeah, like they partnered with the Able Gamers people, the Special Effects, the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, Craig Hospital, Warfighter Engage, which is known for making. They're in fact the people that actually sort of inspired this. Yeah.
I think Phil Spencer also said like, if someone else wants to use it, feel free. So it'd be nice if Sony came out with something like this, in the same vein.
Yeah, I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't.
Well, it's a lot. That's a lot of stuff like where Ben Heck gets some of his cred from. Is like he makes like disabled controllers, or like one-handed PS4 controller, something like that.
Yeah, I guess with the Switch because it's portable, it's less of a hassle. So, but yeah, I mean, I think $100 is kind of maybe.
Well, that's just for like the base model, like basically the base of this thing. Like if you want to get like, I need 20 tubes for up, down, left, right, and all these buttons. That's going to go a lot more.
Yeah, where it may get you a little costly if you have. I mean, that's my own problem is you're making this a little costly, and you've got people that perhaps are worried more about medical bills, and now they want this thing to be able to play their system, and they're having to shell out $150 or something for it.
I could see like a hospital getting one, physical rehab, stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be an avenue for them. Hospitals or some kind of other thing, something for kids, one of those.
Yeah. Yep.
I know you said you had no interest in Rage 2, but they officially revealed the gameplay and story details for the game. It's releasing in spring 2019. It is being made by Avalanche and id Software. Of course, they're the ones involved with Doom, the most recent Doom. It's an fully open world shooterverse. Apparently,
I hate that name. I'm surprised like Borderlands didn't come up with that one first.
I agree with you. Of course, if you've seen the trailer, it looks a lot like Mad Max, post-apocalyptic.
I imagine we got this open world apocalyptic map. Let's just use this instead.
Exactly. A lot of big guns and being able to do a lot of different stuff and go into overdrive and all that. Apparently, an asteroid annihilated 80% of the Earth's population. And...
Yeah, that happened in Rage 1. I mean, that one, like, you woke up from an arc and then you did your merry way.
There's, like, bloodthirsty gangs everywhere, and... Yeah.
But the only question I care about is will John Goodman be back in it?
I guess we'll find out during the Rage 2 showcase when it shows, it's shown off with Bethesda. So, I mean, go them. At least we know one thing. We're already going to get this is probably going to take up half their press conference. And then you'll get bored halfway through.
And I'll talk about Quake Champions again.
Yep. Are people playing that? I don't know. I mean, there's those Quake diehards, I guess, that are, but
they're all just playing like Quake 3 still.
Yeah, And Rage 2 won't include loot boxes, people, so be happy that they're not.
I think like just multiplayer online shooters like that in that vein are just dead.
Yeah, we'll see. But you're not wrong. Like the battle royale thing has sort of taken all of multiplayer and just that's what it is now.
Well, that and then just like hero shooters like Overwatch.
That too. It will have to get bored. Somebody will have to come on and make something totally different so that they get off that eventually.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a while. People seem to be really enamored with that right now. Ubisoft also delayed Skull and Bones, which isn't too surprising because we've heard like nothing about it for a while.
Yeah, they showed up that like one trailer, and that was kind of about it.
And now it's coming out till 2019, possibly 2020. Ubisoft Singapore just says that it's their biggest game yet, and they want to make sure that they're able to tell the right story and everything else. There was another game I think they got delayed till 2019, aside from Shenmue 3, and I can't remember right this minute. It might have been one of those that I thought I put down. I did not, but I'm sure there'll be many. Metro Exodus got delayed.
Exodus, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Metro Exodus got delayed too. So.
That's a shame, but yeah.
That's another game that they kind of just... THQ Nordic has released quite a few things this year, and they just released I think Battle Chasers Night War on Switch like last week. And they have not talked much about Metro Exodus at all, so then they just announced that it's getting delayed during their financial thing. And it's like, okay, cool. People were looking forward to that, but I get it,
They're making another... Speaking of like that type of game, they're making another Stalker game.
I know there's people that would like that game, or like that franchise, so why not?
Yeah. Well, the why not is I think the studio went under, and like it's like parts of it are making this again. I'm not quite sure of the lineage, but it's really weird and complicated.
Agreed on that part. They may provide more information soon, but they got a lot on their plate at the moment. Getting into the movie and TV news for the rest of this, we might get a little bit of a sneak peek as to what's coming after Avengers. Marvel is going ahead and making a movie based on the Eternals. They already have sort of a script being written. Of course, this is based on the comic book made by Jack Kirby in '76. One of the characters called Icarus, can manipulate cosmic energy, and Dina is telekinetic. They provided, a comic book picture along with it, so...
I guess they can't make that Inhumans movie they kept talking about.
Good God. The less we got to talk about the Inhumans, the better. That show was awful. It pretty much, I think, as soon as it came out, it was canceled.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Yep, you just proved why we have been very kind of just keep delaying the movie and then turned it into a TV show because we really wanted nothing to do with it."
Speaking of that, do you follow S.H.I.E.L.D. at all or no?
I keep saying I'm gonna try to go back and rewatch that, and then I don't. So
yeah, they had like their season finale like last Friday. I thought this last season sucked.
Didn't they sort of have their take on what happens after Infinity War on that episode?
No.
Oh, I thought that was the whole part of it.
It's like not really, because it's taking place before that, and it's just like it's so. I don't even know.
It's so just kind of.
I just know it's coming back next year, like deep
only
in
13 episodes though, right?
Yeah, well, deep in the summer, so as to not even deal with Infinity War. because by then it'll be wrapped up.
Yeah, that's probably just that, and also I think like the ratings have not been good for it, right? Like,
no, but it's on a Friday night. What do you expect?
I agree, but the ratings were not that great when it was on during the week too. Like, it started dwindling after a while. Of course, that probably was. Didn't the show like take a nosedive for a while? Then it kind of came back when they added Ghost Rider, and then
yeah, it had periods of good and then periods of bad. So it's an uneven show.
Hopefully they can figure something out so they'll have a lot of time to figure out the story and all that.
Oh, here's something you may like also. Next Monday, they're having two episodes of Lucifer on Fox.
Awesome. I heard apparently Amazon might pick it up.
I guess we'll see the ratings.
Yeah, that's apparently Fox's official statement is ratings on Lucifer, but yeah, I don't know. Now there's news that apparently they have made a deal to get SmackDown from WWE. So,
yeah.
And they've been canceling shows a lot to, I guess, maybe make room for it. I mean, it does help them, right? They don't have to... They can just have SmackDown and then have the news. They don't even have to worry about making time on that day. Just, hey, you have a live show on Fox, and then you go right in the news. So, I wonder if NBC would even entertain the idea of putting Raw on NBC then. But
no, because NBC isn't desperate.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, they just went and grabbed Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that also is they kind of filmed that at their studios too. So,
well, I think they actually own it technically. Also, people like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
people don't like SmackDown.
People like SmackDown, but not as much as they like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So, I don't know. Look, Fox. I think Fox did the right thing though. Like, don't overpay for the UFC when you really can't afford it. You're in a battle between now Comcast has come back into the picture and tried to offer more money than Disney. I really hope Comcast doesn't, because I want to see these Marvel movies get back to where they should be. But
also, like, what is Comcast's goal? Like, are they going to make like a fucking NBC version of X-Men?
Like, yeah, I don't get that. Like, what does Fox have that you really want? Is it for the movie stuff? Like, do you want a piece of the... I guess you want a piece of the superhero pie or something? Like, I can see that point, but again, like, you're doing that and there's... I don't know. Obviously, superheroes have shown that they don't seem to have a death point, because Deadpool just surpassed Avengers, but...
I guess another funny part of this is, I mean, this is a little off topic, but in the UK, there's a network called Sky TV, or Sky Network, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox has been trying to bid on it, or like Rupert Murdoch has been trying to bid on it, and he wants to own it.
Mm-hmm.
And Comcast, like, shut him down. Like, Comcast is now making, like, a counter bid for it.
Well, now that I can understand, because they have rights to, like, the English soccer and all that NBC already has rights to in the US. And if you have those two networks together, they can make a bigger sort of platform for that, and like other sports as well, if they wanted to go that route. So
yeah, but Murdoch wants to own the network for like their news, for like their news name, not for soccer or anything else. He just wants it to.
Well, they used to have a deal together, right? Fox and Sky, and then that kind of deteriorated because.
Well, Fox kept trying to try and get more of it, and then I think the UK regulator shut him down. They're like, no, you guys are assholes.
Yeah, and that's right around where the sale for Fox started, was when he was making that play. Then all of a sudden the rumors started coming out that like, oh, well, things aren't going too well at Fox.
Yeah.
And yeah, that happened. So Comcast is really spreading that muscle. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting if Disney doesn't wind up getting that over. I think it's like $8 million difference.
I think if it's that low, I think Disney would pony up for it.
I wonder though. I wonder because Comcast did that originally, right? They had offered more money, and then Fox said no, we'll take the Disney deal. And then Comcast came back in and was like, "Hey, what the hell? Like, we offered you more money. What are you doing?" And they're trying to, I guess, lobby the FCC and all the people that make those decisions. Like, hello, we offered more money. What's wrong with this deal here? So we'll see. But I have a feeling if that Time Warner and AT&T deal doesn't go through, how could they really justify making this one go through?
Yeah.
So this whole thing may just turn into nothing. But again, they have a whole year to figure that out. Until then. ThunderCats is getting a new animated show on Cartoon Network, and it has made people get absolutely pissed off. I can understand because the look of it is, if you don't watch Cartoon Network right now, which I don't, it's probably going to piss you off because it looks like one of their shows that they have on right now called OK Go, and also sort of like Steven Universe as well. So
I thought it looked like Teen Titans Go.
That as well, I guess. But
it's very kiddie friend or kid looking, like very exaggerated stuff like that.
And I think that's what's making people upset is the people that are traditional ThunderCats fans. I mean, to be fair, I did like that. I'm not a big ThunderCats person, but like I did like the anime kind of thing that they had for a little while. But Cartoon Network kind of killed that thing.
Well, there's two sides to this. First of all, that anime thing was like 2011, and no one watched it. So you can't have fans now going, "Oh, this looks terrible." It's like, well, you didn't watch the show 7 years ago and look good.
Well, but let's be fair. Cartoon Network kind of let that thing like die, and then brought it back. Didn't tell anybody that it was coming back. Brought it back on a different night. Didn't promote it. I mean, there's blame to be put on Cartoon Network as well. You know, it's not both of them, or it's not just one side.
But also, like, who the fuck cares about ThunderCats?
Yeah, I know.
Like, outside of like people who are 30, like me and you are approximately 30.
Right.
Like, even that show is too old for us. I mean, that came out in like the 80s. Like,
I remember it on Cartoon Network when I was a kid, like young, and then it kept being shown on Boomerang after that, and then I didn't.
Yeah, but those were like 10 or 15-year-old reruns.
Right. Exactly.
It's the same. I don't know if you've seen, but they brought back Rocky and Bullwinkle, I think on Amazon.
Oh, they did? Wow.
And it's like, who the fuck thought that this was a good idea?
Well, it's kind of like Netflix is bringing back She-Ra.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, there's an audience for it, but
they're bringing it back, but we don't know how successful it's going to be. That's the thing.
Right. I don't know. I get it, the people that are upset, but like they're trying to make this appeal to the new people that watch cartoons now, the kids that watch it now. So I don't think you can blame them for that.
No.
And if it doesn't work, then you know what? ThunderCats a dead franchise, and you don't bring it back anymore, and you can go back to reading your comics or you're watching the old cartoons, and you know collecting action figures for them, and have fun with that. But I think the people that are getting obsessively mad about this is like, you've got to think about, they have to market this today. If they don't...
Well, I agree with you in principle, but the counter to this is reboot the Guardian Code.
Yeah, or reboot of Reboot, right?
No, that's what this is.
Yeah,
you haven't seen it?
No, I remember we talked about it. I have not watched it because I didn't watch Reboot, so I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's something special. There are, like, dozens, if not hundreds of videos on YouTube, like, after the series came out, of people that's blasting it. Going like, oh, it's I mean, it's true. Like, it's an insult to what the show was, but it's like, get a life.
God. One Punch Man is coming back in the way you remember it. It's coming back on Viz. Of course, Viz Media owns it, which probably means it's not coming to like Crunchyroll or Funimation. You'll have to have Hulu to watch it because Hulu has a deal with Viz Media. If not, it may just be on like Viz Media's like website or something. So may have a lot of illegal streaming going on with that series. Going to be interesting how they handle that. Of course, a lot of people are waiting. I'm waiting for One Punch Man season 2. I know a lot of other people are. So interesting, and it's going to have a different director and a different staff than the last season. So
that always works out well.
Usually doesn't. But
yeah,
the show also has a lot of its detractors or whatever. So we'll see. It's still really popular, and if they can make it work, then why not? I don't think we ever got to talk about the DC streaming service because it was old news by the time we did another show.
Yeah.
They still haven't revealed a price for it, but it has 5 series now that they're going to have on the service. The newest one's called is about Doom Patrol. It's going to have 13 episodes. It's also going to be included along with Young Justice getting a season 3.
That's
Harley
one people
Quinn.
care about.
Yeah, that's the Harley Quinn, Swamp Thing, and Titans.
Yeah, Young Justice will be the good one of these 5.
You never know. DC usually does okay with. Are these now? These are gonna be live action or they're gonna be animated?
No, I think the only live action one is Titans.
Okay, so the other 4 are animated.
Yeah, because they're not going to have like a Harley Quinn animated or real life show.
I mean, they usually do pretty well with their animated shows. So, I give them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm still, like, if you're going to charge more than $10 for the service, I think you're crazy, but...
Yeah. I was actually watching some old Batman animated show, or animated series last night.
That was so good. That and Batman Beyond.
I can't wait until, they're re-releasing Batman animated on Blu-ray this year.
Oh, they are?
That'll be really good.
So for people that don't know, so do you know anything about Doom Patrol? Or
Not at all. You?
No, not really, but I'm going to go off of this press release that they came out with for it. Apparently it has people that have suffered horrible accidents, and this led to them having superhuman abilities, and they're scarred and disfigured, and they have so many problems, and yeah, and apparently it also deals with this stuff that happens after Titans, so they go together in a way. I guess that's cool. So if you watch Titans, then you can watch this. It's like a band of superpowered freaks who fight for the world that wants nothing to do with them. Alright. I'm guessing they're not that important. We've never really seen them talked about having a movie or anything, so.
Well, these are like D-list hero, or
Yeah.
I look at this as like on par with like that Eternals movie. Like, who the fuck cares?
Or like the Runaways, which that show's apparently decent.
Well, Runaways is like a lot newer than this. I mean, Runaways is like at least is 10 years old. This has like 40 or 50.
Oh, really? Yeah. Then, I mean, again, like, I think this is cool that, like, DC's using their streaming service to kind of bring people's awareness of, like, lesser known, like, I mean, not everybody knows who the Swamp Thing is. So, it's interesting. Of course, everybody knows who Harley Quinn is, but her getting her own series is also kind of a thing why you have a streaming service. You can do things like this. So, hopefully for them, it works out. But do you think maybe it leads to like Disney? Oh, I don't know. Disney wouldn't need to, right? They could just have it all together. There'd be no reason to have a Marvel streaming service or anything like that.
That'll be my Disney thing.
Yeah,
I imagine if and when these Netflix deals run out for like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, like they'll just move to that thing if they can.
I'm sure whenever it is that those.
Or like they'll just make a whole bunch of new shows. Like there's a ton of Marvel heroes out there.
Yeah, like they're making that Star Wars show. They can keep making. I wonder if they would consider pulling like the Marvel shows, Marvel cartoon shows from Disney XD and just airing them on the streaming service or whatever. So,
And they could. I would. The one Marvel show or one Marvel license I'd love to see is X Factor.
That's based off the Deadpool thing, right?
No, that's X Force.
Okay, never mind.
X Factor, like the comic I liked was multiple man running a detective agency with like filled with like everyone is a mutant.
You never know.
Yeah,
could happen.
And they finally announced like the rest of the there's a show or a comic I like called The Boys, and they're making a TV show based on that, and they finally announced all the cast for that, and it looks good.
It live action, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be on Amazon Prime.
Well, there you go, Amazon, making some smart choices, it seems.
Carl Urban is the main character. Is going to be the main character.
Ooh, could be interesting then.
Yeah,
might have to give that a look. Really hope they pick up Lucifer at this point because they'll have a damn good lineup if they get all that together. So let's move it on to Zombieland 2. Which I really enjoyed the first Zombieland. Good God, it's been 10 years since that movie came out. Oh, I feel really old.
yeah, I don't think that little girl is so little anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh God, it wasn't that long. Woody Harrelson's not that young either. So, yeah, October 2019, we could get the second film. I'm all about that. I really like the first movie, so... More Zombieland, I'm down with that.
Who would you like to see in the celebrity cameo?
I can't think right now on that one, but
I'd go Michael Shannon.
that would work. I'm just excited the movie's coming because I feel like it's been a while. We keep hearing about them making a sequel.
They kept talking about making a TV show also, which always fell through because that always does. It's like
because I think it was right on the fringe of when TV started hitting that golden era again, and it was going to be hard to get all those actors to be in that.
Well, they're talking about making a Snowpiercer TV show, which sounds bad, and there was talk that thankfully went away, but they were going to make a TV show based on 2012, that horrible John Cusack movie.
Oh, God.
And it's like, who thought this was a good idea?
No.
And whoever did should be shot.
Yeah, really. Thankfully that didn't happen. But yeah, this is one of those good things of we've waited a while, long enough for that to come out and feel fresh again. So that is a positive for Zombieland 2. Glad that they're getting all the cast back. And we'll see how that works out. Now, the report came out from the New York Times that apparently network TV isn't having problems getting younger audiences. This is, of course, CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox. CW doesn't quite have that problem. They never really have. But
I mean, CW caters to younger audiences,
right?
And also, like, what shows would you watch on CBS?
I watched Elementary for a while, and then I kind of got tired of it. I tried to keep up with Young Sheldon as much as I could because I like Big Bang Theory.
You're a bad person.
That's kind of it, though.
I didn't know that about you, but now you're a bad person.
Damn. But that's kind of it. I don't like CSI. I don't like all that junk. So.
Or NCIS, or yeah. I mean, if you think about the show, think about like Modern Family, or like what's the biggest show on like network TV? Probably Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory, Modern Family, Grey's Anatomy still been going on. This Is Us is a big one. I wish I watched that too. You know, just.
I mean, compare those shows just on a quality level compared to like Westworld or Legion or Game of Thrones. Like, there's no contest. Like, no wonder getting blown out of the water.
Well, I think they're not even including like the HBOs and FXs in here. They're just saying that they're getting beat out by Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. Which also, if you include that, I mean, Netflix is obviously trying to just destroy everything by making like 1,000 series in a year. But like even Hulu with like Handmaid's Tale and several other shows that they've come out with on their original. I mean, they kept Mindy Project alive. They've kept other shows.
Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, and it just they have shows that the younger audience is interested in. Amazon as well. I mean, Netflix just kind of has something for everybody, so you really can't go wrong there. But looking at which some of these surprise me, just because like The Good Doctor doesn't seem like a show that like a 60-year-old would watch, but that's almost the median age of that show.
That doesn't surprise me at all, because it's a medical drama about, hopeful. It's not a sad show. It's a hopeful show.
Yeah, like House was a lot more sad.
Yeah, it's not realistic per se. It's like a heightened realism. So.
Yeah, Young Sheldon is surprising because of the popular Big Bang Theory, The Voice, all those like, American Idols, whatever. That's older crowd watching that. 911 as well, because it has to do with the police and all that, which Grey's Anatomy also, because it's kind of, I think at first Grey's Anatomy was sort of a thing that like younger audiences could actually watch, and then as the years have gone on, it's just like,
they've gotten older.
Yeah, I think the people that keep watching it are the ones that have kind of stuck with it. I don't ever hear of somebody going, "Oh, I need to watch Grey's Anatomy from like season 1 right now." Like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Roseanne, obviously. Will and Grace, obviously. They're remakes. This Is Us is the total like white person. Old. I mean, it also appeals to a younger crowd. Like, I know a lot of people around our age and even younger that watch This Is Us because it does have younger actors in it. But still, like, it's one of those like Modern Family, all that kind of just appeals to everybody. So
yeah, that's one with Sterling K. Brown, right?
Is that who the? It's the one with the.
I don't know.
This Is Us is the one that has Mandy Moore and Mila Ventimiglia.
Okay, yeah, it does have Sterling K. Brown. That's all. Yeah. That's the only thing I know about
it. Empire. That does appeal to a younger audience because of the crowd that it draws. It's obviously more towards an African American audience, but I watch it. It's kind of, I really like, oh damn it, what's her name? The main actress. She's
Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, yes, Taraji P. Henson, and what's his? Damn it, he was in Iron Man. Terrence Howard or whatever. Yeah, like
Terrence Howard. Yeah,
both of them are great. So they carry that show really well.
I mean, I don't watch it. I just know it has Andrew Arroyo in it, and that's okay in my book.
Yeah. I mean, all the kids, like all the kids that rap and everything else in it are really good. So, and I'm not a hip-hop aficionado at all. Just that it's interesting. Of course, Riverdale is the youngest median show of everything on the network, which makes sense. It's on CW. It's very... I haven't watched it. But
I have season 1. I watched season 1 at least.
Is it like Twilight-esque? You'd say?
No, it's actually good.
Okay, it's actually good. Okay.
Like all the well, not teenage, but like all the 20-year-old actors are pretty good. It's very arch, or like very soap opera.
Well, it's based on the Archie comics, right?
Yeah, but barely at this point. Yeah. Like I don't remember like a serial killer in Archie comics.
Right. Well, yeah.
I don't remember like Betty donning a black wig and like a sexy bathing suit and trying to like seduce this guy.
Yeah. So my point was in bringing this. Go ahead.
Well, I think the thing is like I don't think. I mean, I think like you have a 4 or 5 year old daughter.
It's 7, but yeah.
Okay,
close.
like I think TV is being like anachronistic or slowly becoming that way because too much stuff to watch. Like if you said to your daughter, like we're gonna watch this show every night at every Tuesday at 8 p.m. and it'll be like this one show we watch. She just be like, why? Like why isn't this on my phone?
I can watch whatever I want whenever I want, right?
Yeah. And then also, I think there's just too much variety out there. I mean, MASH got like 15 million people watching like the finale because that was the only fucking thing back then. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, like what, Cobra Kai just broke the record for YouTube Red. Not that there was ever like some great shows to watch on YouTube Red before Cobra Kai, but
it's like, yeah, what do you expect? It's the only show people remotely would care about on that thing.
But still, like, Hulu keeps, Hulu just, I think they were the first network, right, of the streaming services to win something with Handmaid's Tale. So, and Netflix has been doing it for a while. You have so many different shows that it's like just Netflix alone. You can watch that and watch it whenever you want. You can binge watch, and then you can go to the next Netflix original show that you like. And now they've gotten into anime themselves, so they're starting to own that sector. I mean, you've got Amazon that's getting into that as well. That doesn't even include the CW shows that also provide something different that, they're into the superhero thing that, used to you could only get in the movies. So I think you've got, like you said, so much variety. It doesn't, being able to get anything online that you want as well also hurts these people. But I think also it's not just variety, it's like what you see on network television is a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
Over and over. Or you're getting a bunch of remakes, like, okay, look, we got Will and Grace from Roseanne and they're doing great, right? Well, okay, let's do this again this season. What are we getting? A remake of Magnum P.I., a remake of Murphy Brown.
They're bringing back Mad About You.
Yeah, remake of Mad About You, remake of Charmed. The Titan games, which is hosted by The Rock, which I'm sure that might do fine, but it's almost like, American Gladiators again. And, like, they actually greenlit that 90s sequel to the Goldbergs that I thought they weren't going to.
Wow.
They called it Schooled, and it's going to have the lesser characters in it. It's not even going to have the main characters.
Yeah, because they're older at this point.
Yeah, so it has the the PE coach and the counselor black guy, and I'm guessing it's going to go off of that one pilot. But yeah, and then you go through, and I think the IGN had all the 32 new shows that were coming, and I don't know how many of them were almost identical to each other. How many of them were like crime shows or something based in a hospital or whatever, and it's like, no wonder AMC and all these other cable networks are kicking your ass, because they're not all the same. You've got to have the ability to go out there and do something different.
I mean, I know you don't watch it, but if you compare the first episode of The Flash to the first episode of Legion, they're not even the same ballpark whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kidding. So
I mean, The Flash is just even the problems I have with the current seasons. It's just an extremely formulaic show, and Legion is not.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the problem here. Is you want to get a younger audience, you got to appeal to that younger audience. But yeah, I think the last thing we have to talk about is the breadth of games coming out this week. I was wrong. They did. I don't know why. What I was looking at had Detroit Becoming Human coming out last week. It is coming out on Friday, along with Dark Souls Remastered, that people have been waiting for on every system but the Switch version, which obviously everybody knows it's been delayed by this point. Stardew Valley is now coming out on the Vita tomorrow. So if you, for some reason, have a Vita and you've been waiting forever to play Stardew Valley, I guess you could pick that up. The latest Devolver Digital game, I Hate Running Backwards, is out tomorrow as well. It's a infinite runner that also lets you shoot things while you're running. State of Decay 2 comes out tomorrow as well. Of course, that's the latest Xbox One exclusive that you can also just pay $10 in Game Pass for and play.
Good luck if you play it too.
Yeah.
The reviews have not been kind to that game.
I have noticed that is not good for Microsoft. They just can't win one this year at all. A Mega Man Legacy Collection coming out for the Switch. And H1Z1 is getting the open beta on PS4. Tennis World Tour comes out tomorrow as well. Runner 3 comes out as well. Pixel Junk Monsters 2 comes out on Friday. Lots of games coming out. That Dylan's Rolling Western, The Dead Heat Breakers also comes out on Thursday. So
all the big hits.
Yeah, lots of different games. I do like it when you have an eclectic.
That Bloodstained Curse of the Moon game is supposed to be at the 24th.
Oh, really? It's not listed here. Maybe it's because it was just wasn't too long ago. It was announced, right?
Yeah. It was announced 2 weeks ago.
Well, there you go. Another one to put on the list here. So
that's one I'm getting. So I'm happy. I'm gonna give that a shot for sure.
Sweet. Yeah, and then they'll probably take another lull here in a little bit because of E3 and all that. But yeah, so until next week, people. Enjoy your games, and we'll be back then.
Later.